Welcome back to my Low Vision Awareness Month series. Okay, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys some things that are actually different about my house because of mine and my mom's vision. Let's get into it. First of all, for those of you who don't know, yes, my mom is actually also low vision. I got my vision actually from my mom, genetics. But anyways, with that being said, there's a lot that is different about our home than probably the average able-bodied home. So in this video, I am going to show you guys some of the things that are different about our home, and some of them I will just explain because some are a little bit too hard to show. Being that my mom is low vision, she has never drove. She's never had a driver's license and she can't, which has definitely been something that is different about our household. I know several families who choose not to drive, or that's just not a mode of transportation for them. However, when that is something that is an actual restriction on your family, things are definitely very different. My dad is able to drive. He has totally perfect vision, except for old age. Another thing that was different about our home, especially growing up, not so much anymore, but definitely when me and my brother were younger, was the extent in which we had to make sure all of our toys were cleaned up. My mom, for a long time, had to wear something called bubble glasses because essentially she did not have a front lens to her eye. When she got cataracts as a teenager, they did not have the technology or medical knowledge at the time to know how to put a lens back into her eye, so she had to wear contacts as the front lens of her eye for 30 years or so. I don't exactly know, but something like that. And so at night, she had to wear bubble glasses because obviously she took out her contacts, which meant that she was very blind, much more than even just low vision, but very, very blind, which meant that if anything was out of its place, if there was any toys in any walkway, anywhere, she could trip and fall or get hurt, and that's something very serious. So that was something that we always had to be very careful of, is make sure that everything was in its place. Whatever. The guy needs hearing aids too. However, my dad was often at work, so any errands or things that we wanted to do for entertainment, especially as little kids, my mom would have to take me and my brother on the bus to go and do. Now, of course, we still have to take the bus, and even myself, if I want to go hang out at the mall, or I want to go to Walmart, or my mom wants to go to Walmart and she needs to go pick something up, when you hear that words of, hey, you need to go to Walmart, or hey, I'm going to Walmart, that doesn't mean that we're pulling out of the driveway. That usually means, hey, make sure you have a bus pass. We have to leave at this time because that's when the bus is coming, and we need to make sure that we only spend an hour there because the bus will be coming back at this time. You have to be very planned out when you have low vision. And that's something that I am still working on, being that I am 17 and just now transitioning into, being an adult. But that's something that I have definitely grown up with my mom having to do for my entire childhood. And so it is something that I have been around the entire time. All right, another thing that's hard to show, but better to just explain, is whenever we are watching a movie or a TV show together and my dad or my brother is watching the show or movie with me or my mom, they automatically have this instinct to read any text that shows up on the screen. I don't know if this is a habit that they have started to form even when around other people, but this is definitely a habit that whenever there's subtitles or words on the screen or anything like that that would be important to whatever we're watching, both my dad and my brother have the instinct to instantly read it out loud, so that way either me or my mom know what it says. And that is obviously not something that is very typical within families as you're watching something for the sighted people to read out what is being said on the screen. Okay, so another thing that's actually quite important for us is magnifiers. Right here in our hutch, you will see all of my dog's food and such, but we also have several different magnifiers within here. Some of them are ones that we've acquired over the years. Some of them came from my mom from the time that she was even in school. So that is something that is definitely different about our house. Most people do not have a cabinet with magnifiers in it. Another thing that is also different about our house, and something that specifically my mom and my dad as well, but mostly my mom, has to look out for when buying new things, is the size of them. As you see in this clock up here, it's quite large. My dad was actually gone for a few days and he noticed the clock, which we got when he was gone. And although he thinks that it's huge, that is something that is just normal to us. We have to think about things like that. Or when we get a new appliance, we have to make sure that the clock is big enough, that the numbers might be big enough for us to see. Things like that that most people don't think about. Okay, and the last thing that is most definitely different about our household is the fact that me and my mom just share eye drops. We have our own eye drops, however, we're on the same medication for them, and when we notice that we need them, if we don't have it on us, we can just use the other's eye drops, or if our prescription couldn't be filled right away, that is also a time when we can just use each other's eye drops. So that is definitely something different about our household than most. Okay, well, those were quite a few of the things that make our household a little bit different than the average household, but quite honestly, all of these things I have grown up with and they seem very normal to me. So it was almost hard to think of these things because they were so normal to me growing up that I don't see them as any different. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're enjoying this entire series, and have a good rest of your day.